Today was a day about destinations. There were too many destinations and not enough focus on the roads connecting them. This was a fundamental lesson and takeaway, even after 38 days on the road. The lesson was, it's the journey, not the destination. I was wondering why I was checklisting it today. I was aware of the time and the count up to 50 days. Including this day, there were 12 more days on the trip. There were a lot of miles to cover. I had done some incredible riding over the last 38 days. I think what was really affecting me were places that were more tourist destinations. I was finding that it was just not as fun for me. It was crowded and you really needed to be off the bike to appreciate it more, assuming that was what you were looking for. The other factor was the Disneylandification of the place. I think I just invented a word. Many places started to feel more like a Disney attraction. Deadwood, Sturgis, and Wall were totally like that. Mount Rushmore and Devil's Tower were geared to being off the bike and also were tourist attractions. These big destinations attract lots of people. I was just not into the crowds. It was such a contrast from what I had been experiencing on the bike and what I was looking for. I like riding alone on spectacular roads that are not crowded with no particular destination and that pass through scenes of amazing natural beauty. I'm not a big fan of the crowds and the tourist stops. Traveler versus tourist distinction might be relevant. Having said all that, it was a destination day. Here was the checklist. Devil's Tower in Wyoming, Black Hills National Forest in South Dakota, Deadwood, Sturgis, Rapid City, Mount Rushmore, and finally, Wall, South Dakota, since I needed a place to stay near Badlands National Park. That was my checklist completed for the day. Check, check, and check. No regrets about the day, just a reminder on how I prefer to travel. Before embarking on the long stretch east, and what would be several long riding days, I took the opportunity to immerse myself in another place of otherworldly sights, Badlands National Park. I enjoyed this last ride through a national park on this side of the country. I thought about my motivations as I rode, where I was going, my past travels, and in general life's journey. We've all heard the expression, it's the journey, not the destination. The obvious and general interpretation is simply to appreciate being in the moment and where you are at. No need to obsess on the destination or the final outcome. Enjoy the doing. However, the destination is a key ingredient. It's the catalyst that sparks a chemical reaction. You pick a destination and that sets the journey in motion and keeps it going. You pick a destination or a goal and that sets you in motion. Having a destination or a goal is fundamental to any journey, whether it be physically traveling or a metaphysical journey. It's the journey, not the destination. Picking a destination sparks a reaction. It creates momentum that is a push or a pull. It's the gravity that draws you to something. Having a destination and a goal is the thing that makes you kinetic, gets you moving, so that you can truly focus on the journey, allowing the road to get you to where you need to be. This country is so vast. I have lots of video of great roads, twisty roads, mountain roads, roads that carve their way through vineyards, forests, or coastlines. But there are lots of other roads that connect those places. The USA is big. Sometimes you have to buzz in a straight line for hundreds of miles. I spent many hours on I-90 today, going east from Badlands to Sioux Falls for 300 miles of vast nothingness, farms and ranches. The other 184 miles, for a total of 484 today, weren't terribly more exciting. But of the 9,300 miles I've ridden in 39 days, I've always been glad to be on the bike and move. There were going to be several high mileage days ahead, including this one. I decided to heed the call of the Great Smoky Mountains. I set course in the direction of Nashville, Tennessee, and then onward to the Smoky Mountains. I was excited to have that goal and that destination to pull me forward through the long miles of straight road and constant throttle. After 484 miles, I arrived in Omaha, Nebraska, or was it Iowa, or both? South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska seem to have borders that not only confuse me, but some of the cities are confused as to which state they belong to as well. I was happy to be on my way to the Great Smoky Mountains and the Blue Ridge. I was really looking forward to being in the mountains there, to reflect on the trip, and to enjoy some more mountain travels before heading to sea level. Today was just about the miles. I was feeling the pull of the Great Smoky Mountains. I was excited about making my way sooner rather than later to the mountains of North Carolina. All interstate riding through Iowa, Nebraska, and into Missouri. A staircase route south then east. The heat was pushing 94 degrees at times while I was buzzing on the interstate. I got a late start this day since I really needed to exercise. My body was feeling sore from riding. Exercise helped a lot. Good riding progress overall on this day. I would be in the Smoky Mountains in a couple of days. "26 miles from Nashville, the sky exploded and began to drop rain like a water cannon. I was committed to making it to Nashville and then deciding what to do next. I pushed through and was on the outskirts of Nashville when the sky opened. A split decision later and I exited the interstate heading to downtown. The streets were packed, people were everywhere. It was Country Music Fest, the post-weekend follow-up to the Country Music Awards. Nashville for the night it was. I walked around for a while, snapping pics and watching everyone cross over the bridge to the stadium where the Country Music Fest performers were. The streets of Nashville were filled with music. Every bar had a live band. Literally, every bar right next to one another had live music. There was a coolness to all that was happening. A good meal, a nice room, a cool city, and I was feeling good. It was important to have a break from the last 3 days of riding in incessant heat on a never-ending straight line. Tomorrow would take me back into the mountains to a familiar place, a place where the roads twist and turn, a place that lives up to its name, the Great Smoky Mountains.